John from Ripewave Audio to tell Onkyo that we're waiting. We're waiting for them to come out with a flagship with more channels. Now, we like the Onkyo portfolio, including that flagship, the TX-RZ70, which sells for $2,800, but it's limited to 13 channels. And with Marantz and other brands coming out with receivers and processors with more channels, it does leave you with a gap on the Onkyo portfolio. If you need more than 13 channels of processing, you're forced to go to a different brand, and there are other brands like Integra and Pioneer aren't going to offer anything additional. Let's take a look at this a little more carefully. Now, the Onkyo TX-RZ70, we said this is the flagship. This has got 11 channels of amplification, 140 watts per channel. What particularly we're looking at is the speaker layouts it supports. It supports a 7.2.4 configuration. And that does give you 2 independent subwoofer channels. Now, it's something the RZ50 doesn't do. It's only 1 independent subwoofer channel. But it has the sweet spot. 7 ear-level speakers, that's 2 in the front plus a center channel. Side surrounds, rear surrounds, that's your 7. 2 for the subwoofers, and 4 for the height channels. So you got 2 rows of heights. But what if you want to add in front wides or another row of heights? You are limited and you can't go beyond that. So if those with larger rooms and those want a deeper experience, you're stuck. And now this does satisfy the majority of customers out there, won't go beyond 7.2.4. But there is a group of us that would like those additional channels. Now, if we take a look and compare the RZ70, Onkyo's flagship, against the Marantz Cinema 50, now that's also supporting 7 ear-level speakers and 2 rows of heights, but they give you 4 subwoofer independent channels. So even if you're going to keep that sweet spot layout of 7 ear levels, 4 heights, you might want to have more than 2 independent subwoofers. And the RZ70 isn't going to support it. So even with the Cinema 50, which sells for less than the RZ70, you get 4 independent subwoofer channels. There's also some more flexibility on the layouts you can create. Now, Onkyo does support with this RZ70 Aural 3D. What it doesn't support is that top surround voice of God channel. And if you wanted to have that Aural 3D layout, you can't do it with the RZ70. You have to stick to the traditional Dolby type layouts that is supported by Onkyo. Moving up in the Marantz line, now they have the Cinema 40, which is really the same speaker layouts as the 50, just a higher quality implementation. But if you move to the Cinema 30, you got yet more channels. So you not only have the 4 subwoofer channels, but you're given a couple of extra channels for your ear levels and heights. This means you can implement a front wide channels on this unit. So you could have a 9.4.4 configuration or have 3 rows of height channels in the ceiling, a 7.4.6. So this is what we're asking Onkyo to do, is to fill in these gaps. Give us something more. Maybe it's a TX-RZ90 that has those additional channels. Now, of course, the Cinema 30 is selling for a lot more than the RZ70. Of course, you'd expect that for more channels. It has the same number of amplifier channels at 11 and has the similar power output. So really what you're gaining with the Cinema 30 over the RZ70 is certainly more channels for your speaker layouts and your subwoofers. Onkyo isn't alone on this speaker layout limitation. This is something we also see with the Integra and the Pioneer flagships, also premium audio company brands. They have that same 13 channel limit. We see this with Yamaha with their RX-A 8A as well. But we still would like to see them go a little higher on their speaker layouts. Give that options that for those that want to stay with Onkyo, Integra, or Pioneer, or even Yamaha, that ability to go to front wides and use 3rd rows of heights. So what are your thoughts? Would you also like to see Onkyo come out with a new flagship that has more capabilities than the TX-RZ70? That feedback would be useful to the Ripewave audio community. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Consider going to our Patreon site at www.patreon.com/Ripewave. Of course, you can hit that thanks button for a one-time donation, always appreciated. Of course, it doesn't cost anything to hit that bell notification so you're notified when the next video is posted. Until then, keep evolving your audio experience.